This is Matthew Kratter's Bitcoin University, and today I wanted to welcome you back to another special edition of Toxic Bitcoin Saturday, in which I highlight important news, comments, tweets that you may have missed. We laugh at a few shipcoiners together, and we generally say things that increase my need for a personal bodyguard. And today we're going to start with one of the biggest scammers in the space, Richard Hart of the Hex scam, of course. I've made a few videos about this over the years, warning people to get out. The most recent one was 3 months ago, before the most recent implosion of Hex's price. And I just got a comment just 3 days ago from Gypsy Lexi 4524. So how long do you think till the final Hex collapse? And as I responded, it has obviously already happened. Hex on Pulse Chain down 40% in the last year. Pulse Chain itself, the token, down 59%, and the original Hex down almost 87% just over the past year. The good news about Hex, though, is you can keep adding zeros to the right of the decimal point. So this can certainly go down another 99% from here, and maybe that's what it's going to take for Hexicans to figure this out. Meanwhile, Richard Hart bag holding their cash, Hexicans bag holding to zero, and the Hex holders, this was a very touching portrait of Hex holders waiting for their ETF to come out. Hope definitely does spring eternal in the Hexican community. Next item, Ethereum's continuing quest to find itself as an adolescent. Ethereum asks itself, today do I feel like a world supercomputer, an internet bond? Maybe I'm ultrasound money today. Maybe I'm a universal objective work token. No, today I identify as an app store, and ETH is like Apple Pay. Hopefully this new metaphor helps Ethereum insiders to more efficiently dump on retail when the ETF comes out. This is what Jeff Dorman, CFA, is recommending to BlackRock, Van Eck, and Bitwise. Once the ETH ETF goes live, please erase the words supercomputer, ultrasound money, and internet bond from your memory. This does not resonate with anyone. ETH has definitely been on a long journey to find itself. What does resonate with people? Ethereum equals the App Store, and ETH equals Apple Pay. This is how they're going to sell this to retail. Probably not as effective as just being something useful like digital gold. If you're enjoying this video so far, please help to support the channel. Click the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, question, suggestion for a future video. Also share this video with a friend or family member. Now it's time to check in on the XRP community. We can see that they are still basking in the light of last year's victory. Last July 2023, Ripple Labs notches landmark case win in SEC case over XRP cryptocurrency. If we take a look at a chart, that was approximately right here, and it looks like that case hasn't been too good for XRP, which continues to lose value against Bitcoin because, of course, it's just a centralized corporation coin. And now it turns out that the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is a liar in many different areas, at least allegedly. Ripple CEO faces trial over alleged misleading statements in 2017 interview. The charges take issue with the CEO saying that he was very, very long on XRP. Plaintiffs allege he sold millions worth of XRP the same year, so allegedly talking out of both sides of his mouth. These are such ethical people at Ripple that this is quite shocking, but it may in fact be true. We'll let the courts decide this. Comment from Junie Wilton, Bitcoin is getting killed by the S&P right now. That said, I hope it finally does something decent after 4 months of consolidation. Imagine having to wait 4 months for anything. That's just outrageous. It's getting awfully close to repeating the 2019-2020 crash right now, which is terrifying. Lots of people would get destroyed by this. My response, yawn. Heard this before. A comment from Marcel Decker 2149, who appears to be a gold bug, unfortunately for him. No Bitcoins go to zero in a crash. Bitcoins are liability. Alan Greenspan, gold is money. Anything else is a liability. Bitcoins are 100% liability. And then someone, Stoltis S, responds, Alan Greenspan was anti-gold while he was head of the Fed. The guy's a turncoat. My response, you don't understand the difference between a bearer asset and a liability, do you? Bitcoin is a bearer asset like gold, not a liability of anyone else. Instead of just quoting an authority, learn to understand the words. A comment from Backcool, I believe you pronounce it. I don't believe for a second you ever worked in TradFi. It doesn't take 120 plus IQ to see why Bitcoin will so obviously fail eventually. If what you say happens, not only the feds, but also average citizens will just take your magic coins from you far before any Bitcoin standard. Lamau, good luck, buddy. Still have time to delete your channel. You are just one small mark in this global con of the disgusting Bitcoin fraud. I probably should have had something funnier in response to say, but my response was I was one of the early employees at Peter Thiel's hedge fund, which we grew to over $2 billion AUM. How will the feds confiscate a bearer asset like Bitcoin? Please explain. If Bitcoin is a fraud, who is running the fraud? And of course, no response as you would expect. Another question from Andid6896. Will your videos kill all brain cells? My response, not if all your brain cells are already dead, as seems likely in the case of that person. Alex Gladstein had a great tweet here. BBC coverage of Bitcoin since 2013. Basically, ever since Bitcoin grew out of its interesting infancy, the mainstream media has consistently hated on it and steered citizens away from it, characterizing it as risky and dangerous. Huge failure of journalism. We can see here all of the red bars are negative coverage of Bitcoin by the BBC since 2013, going all the way up to 2021. So if you listen to conventional news sources, this is what unfortunately you end up with. You're going to miss out on the most important trends of your lifetime, especially if you listen to journalists who get paid basically minimum wage these days. This was a great clip from Michael Saylor being interviewed, which I wanted to play for all of you, and then I'll link to it in the description notes below.
We went to Harvard Business School and they taught the MicroStrategy case study. And the professor calls me and says, well, you know, the students are really excited. They studied the MicroStrategy story. This is after we'd done it and after it worked. He said, we studied the MicroStrategy story, so we'd like you to come in and talk to the class. This is the greatest business school in the United States, maybe the most famous business school in America, the best and the brightest. You have to be the best students. So this is what happens. I go to the class, I zoom in, I said, yeah, well, I mean, the company was at the end of the line. We were going to have to sell the company. The enterprise was worth $600 million. And we were at our wits' end. We tried everything we could possibly do for a decade. It didn't work. So finally we adopted the Bitcoin standard, and we quadrupled the stock price, and the shareholders made billions of dollars, and the employees all made millions of dollars, and everyone's delighted and happy, and it was good for Bitcoin and good for the company and good for the employees, and the customers are happy. And now, and this is back when MicroStrategy had a market cap of maybe $5 billion or something. Today, our market cap is more than $30 billion, a few months later. The professor goes, okay, you've heard the CEO. What do you guys think? Would you do it? And he takes a survey. First student, I don't know, seems kind of risky. Second student, it seems like an inappropriate use of shareholder funds. Third student, this isn't normally done. Fourth student, it kind of violates, convention in corporate finance. Fifth student, we really can't see, any major company doing it. I swear, I watched 10 students.
I think that's a great clip, and it pairs really well with Gladstein's tweet about the dangers of listening to the mainstream media and listening to conventional people when it comes to investing and when it comes to the direction that the world is going. And watching this actually reminded me that a certain hedge fund I used to work for, we used to take the resumes of everyone who had gone to business school, especially Harvard Business School, and actually use that as a way of getting rid of those people, throwing those in the garbage and not interviewing them, just because these business schools do really create conventional thinkers. If you want to learn how to think outside of the conventional mindset, I will link to this entire video so you can watch the whole thing over this weekend, as well as another video that I really enjoyed, another podcast that Saif Ammous did with his brother, who's actually an MD, and they cover the history of medicine in the US. They cover a lot of problems with fiat money, fiat medicine, and fiat food. I found this very, very interesting and definitely recommend you listen to it if you're looking for something to do this weekend. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video, and let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Another way you can help to support the channel and help to engage the YouTube algorithm is to join and become a Bitcoin University channel member, you can just click the join button right here. If you're on mobile, you may need to go in the description notes and click this link, or click the link in the pinned comment. But if you click this, this will basically take you to a place where you can sign up for a small amount per month. $2.99 per month gets you some loyalty badges and some custom emojis you can use. You can use Elizabeth Warren here. We've got Gensler, we've got Jerome Powell the Clown, etc. And then if you want to join at the Toxic Bitcoin Maxi level for $4.99 per month, you'll get everything else. You'll get all those badges and emojis. You also get a couple members only videos every month. So check those out if you're interested in getting a little bit more content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.